Next part is we'll be covering dynamic website deployment. So for dynamic website, there are many frameworks and like the libraries available to use to develop your server-side programming. Along with the, obviously you need your front-end parts, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and all. So apart from that, you have the script server-side scripting as well. Here you can use PHP or anything, but we'll be covering today the Django framework, and we'll be deploying the website built on Django over Microsoft Azure, and we'll be deploying Node.js website on Heroku. So Django is basically a framework for Python. A framework is basically an like a blueprint, an abstract kind of structure that is pre-built, and you just need to add your components and code at specific locations to build your website. And like it is very simple. They give you a pre-built structure, and you need to add your files and the assets and everything there, and then you need to map your URL, and the settings are important there. So I'll be telling you what two components are necessary here to deploy your website to Azure. First we'll go to, okay, so this is basically a paid service, but as a student you get $100 credits if you register as a student, and also there is a free trial that you can try for 1 year. So you can register here. I'll tell you what. Okay, so when you just go to the website, they ask you to log in or register. Okay, so when you log into your account, they'll ask you to register to Azure if that account is not already registered with Azure. And you need to have your debit card or credit card details, but they'll not be charging you anyway. So for the, like, if you don't use paid services for 12 months, and like they give you 13,000 rupees credits as well, and then that you can use in the first month itself. Like for the first month you have that 13,000 credits, and for the next 11 months after that you have the, like, many free services are also there, so you can use those services without any charge. So okay, for Django website, I had one website built. I just simply downloaded one website using some web page, and I just saved the web page, and I'm using Django over there. So this is basically the, okay, this was the simple website. The images, the one that will be deploying using Django won't show images because I have not mapped the images in that web page. So you can just see the website there. I'll just tell you how. And then first we'll be deploying this page. I already have this page on my GitHub. I'll be deploying this, and then we'll be like changing and this thing. Then we'll be changing and showing how continuous deployment works over GitHub. Fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. See, this is basically the website that we'll be deploying later. First, we'll be deploying that simple HTML page, and then we'll uh, just push it to GitHub, and we'll see the magic, how it basically automatically does the deployment of your website that you just push to GitHub. So for that, first you need to create your web app here. Yeah, web app. Okay. So I have basically two subscriptions here, also students and free trial. So I'll be using any one of them. And you need to, if you have any resource group, basically a kind of folder to hold your components that you use for your web app. So if you have one created, then you can use it directly. Otherwise you'll have to create on the go anything. Okay, your web app. So yeah, fine. Runtime stack, we are using Python, right? So we'll have to use the runtime stack here, Python. you can use any region that works for your plan. I checked with India, it wasn't working, so I'm using Central US now. Okay, so here you need to check for your pricing and the resources that you require. So this is basically used for testing purpose, the F1 and the B1 plans. So F1 is basically the most basic plan is, and is free, and this thing, the B1 is free for first 30 days because I have this thing registered using uh, the free service. So, and for production you have these many plans, and like the specification for every plan is here. Like if you use F1, you don't have the freedom to use custom domain or add SSL certificates here. But if you use B1 plan, then you can, add certificates, and you can use your the custom domains, and the memory and everything is like mentioned in the bottom of every plan that you use. So it is the highest plan that you have here. You need to pay according to your traffic on the website, but as we are using just testing, so we'll be using the B1 plan here. Fine. Just create your app here, and then okay, I'll show my GitHub first where I have these files. Yeah, okay, so I had my Django files here. The files I'll show you in my desktop. Fine. So this was the files I was having here, and I just posted to GitHub. So yeah. Now two things are very important here. First, you need to have this file requirement.txt in which you'll need to mention your dependencies, because if you don't mention your dependencies, then your backend would your this thing Azure service won't get the required libraries and all, and then you'll have to face trouble. You won't get your website deployed there. And one more thing that is required is, yeah, in setting.py you need to have your allowed host. So I've used star here because star will in short allow any host to have your website deployed, but you need to ultimately scale this to the one to web the host that you are planning, that you are hosting your website to. So you can just google about that, like what is need to be added there. And but this star will work for any. So like this is not secure anyway, you need to use these specific ones, but since it is just the demo, so we are using this. Fine. Okay, it is done, and we will be creating the app. Okay, am I audible here? Fine. Mhm.
Yes, Akshat, you're audible.
Okay, so we had one resources created. Okay. Hmm. This is what we created, the basic folder that is required. Now we need to add the source code to the folder for the deployment, so that is being done here now. Okay, so you have various options to go through. We'll be going through GitHub, and the yeah. Okay, so like when you start for the first time, you'll have to configure your GitHub profile, and you need to know the allow this thing Azure to use your GitHub files, so that you can manage your repository from there. Okay, okay. This is the folder that contains my files. So yeah, this repo. So that is why I'm using that repo there. and this is the name of the repository. So any repo that you have can name the repo, and you can use that name here, so it will be showing. And since that is the master branch we'll be using, yeah, fine, finish. I guess it's done. It might take 1 or 2 minutes extra depending on the bandwidth and all. Okay, it is deployed. The page would be visible in around 1 or 2 minutes. Just wait. Fine. Okay, so I'll show you first. Yeah, this was the simple index page that I had here. The first one that I showed, this one. This is the one I deployed right now because that was on my GitHub. We wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. Welcome. And you can also add domains, custom domains here. So Abhijit will be focusing more on that. I don't have credits to buy a domain and demonstrate here. Okay, just wait for. In the meantime, we'll be setting up the pushing of that new web page there, and as soon as we push after 1 to 2 minutes, that will be also deployed automatically. So that is basically the continuous deployment portion. Yeah. Okay. So these were the files that I changed. Still not up. Yeah. So this was the basic website that we first deployed, and now since we are uh, changing the website, so we'll just see the changes soon. This new one is the website that will be hosting this one. So this one will be hosted now since we are pushing this into the GitHub. Okay, fine, it's done. Just give it some time. Let's check here. Yes, we have the files here, so no issues. Okay, so we'll be checking that in the end, and you will have the new website. There are no issues with that. In the meantime, we'll be learning how to this thing deploy this Node.js website. So what is Node.js? Node.js is basically a runtime. So like you might have wrote JavaScript for a browser, right? The JavaScript that you write is for the client side. That your browser, every browser has a different engine that converts the JavaScript code to the machine code. So I'll tell you I guess they have V8 engine something. Okay, yeah. So V8 is the engine for Chrome, and similarly you have different engines for Firefox or any browser that you use. So those engines just convert the JavaScript code into machine code, and then your browser is basically the runtime that displays that code according to what it is configured for, right? And similarly, we have Node.js, but Node.js is for the server side. So it uses the same engine as that of Chrome, this V8 engine, and it converts the script for the backend. So you have various components that are different, from writing server side using Node.js and writing this client side using normal JavaScript and other libraries. So uh, that part is like not covered here. We are not covering the specifications on Node.js. We can keep separate sessions if you want. And yeah, simple. So we just uploaded the push the codes that were ready on our desktop, and then it is being deployed automatically. So this is continuous deployment.